G'day! At last I've got an opportunity to compile this video I've been promising for so long about this fancy new caravan we've got and show you, give you a bit of a tour. We're pretty happy with the day. So how did we come up with our criteria to start with? We've had the privilege of exploring some awesome parts of Australia, love the most remote places, and we love to travel on our own. But we'd had an experience whilst in Western Australia where I'd needed to reverse a camper trailer and the vehicle more than 1 kilometre through windy, sandy tracks that were overgrown with scrub before I was able to turn around due to a fallen tree. And I wanted a caravan that I could feel the same degree of confidence in poking our nose down interesting looking tracks. Robyn had broken her arm quite badly a while ago, and so the canvas of the camper trailer was no longer a viable option for us. It was just too difficult and uncomfortable for her. So we've gone for a custom build because we had what we wanted in mind, and Robyn found this terrific couple here in Coffs Harbour, Col and Jenny Loader, who make these things. And here it is, our Summit Tuff 140X. It's a pop-top caravan, as you can see. We had it built with Cruisemaster suspension, with Land Cruiser matching wheels and tyres so that I'd get the same. 140 means it's 14 foot from the back point to this vertical point here, and then there is this nose cone at the front, and the bed pokes a bit forward into that. Again, we've got a Cruisemaster DO35 off-road hitch, which makes travel quite safe, I guess, in the rough off-road things. There's a 50 amp Anderson plug, but we've got, the whole thing is wired, and I'll tell you a bit more about the electrics in a little while. There's also a 35mm wiring with a 175 amp monster Anderson plug. And we've got a rear camera on the van that we have turned on all the time whilst we're travelling, so it works as a rear vision camera. There's a stone guard, of course, and then a wood rack on the front. We tend to collect our timber as we're travelling. A little tunnel, or a little boot at the front for electricals and other knickknacks and things like that. The wood rack will flip over to the front to make a bit of a table, which is handy. I've told Robyn she can clean my fish there, but she knows I'm good at fishing and no good at catching. A couple of jerry cans and 9 kilo gas bottles, which cost similar to a 4.5 kilo to fill, and a diesel tank for the internal space heater. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a little while too. A couple of tunnel boots, and down the side we've got 2 90-litre water tanks, the gas heater, water heater, then above there is the black thing is the 240 volt inlet, the other white thing is the external shower, and down the back is the hatch for the toilet cassette for the internal ensuite. You can see it's good sized boot, tunnel boot in this nose cone, and then a mega sized boot right behind that. Huge amount of space, hey? We'll be able to carry so much stuff. I don't know what sort of stuff. I guess we're not inclined to carry a lot of stuff, so this is we're really excited about this thing and looking forward to it. Down the side we've got, it's all double glazed, and the Fiamma wind out awning. I'll just show you the tunnel boots from this side as well, so you can just see all that space in there. Incredible. So we should be right for extended periods. Then there's the slide out kitchen. This other little hatch down here is for another external water outlet. We just plug the shower thing into it, and as long as the hot water service is on, you plug it in, then you just turn it and dial it around to select whatever temperature of the water that you want. So if I want it really hot, I would just turn it around further to the left, as it indicates on this fancy thing. I'll open the slide up kitchen out. All the runners and stuff are really strong looking, quite robust, hey? Pull it out. For the first time we've gone away from an angle. We've got one angle that'd have to be close to 40 years old. But anyway, this thing, we've gone for an Evercool. And one of the things I do like about it is that you can open the doors on either side. It's a 95 litre fridge freezer. Super quiet. So far it's been really efficient with the power, and it comes with an app. You can hook to your phone, but so far our experience is it's a crap app. Got a little bench extension which we just unhook from over here and slot it into the end, because bench space is at a premium if you have an external kitchen in your caravan or camper trailer. You can never have enough of the stuff, hey? There's a nice little stove that doubles as an oven, temperature gauge on the top, got a little cook tray inside there, but if we pull that out you can see it's just a 2-burner gas stove as well, so that'll work fine for pots, etc. And of course we've got the always necessary, these welding gloves. Can never go without a welding glove when you're camping in the bush. Good for lugging your camp ovens around and things. I'll just put all this stuff away. Another little trick inside I'll show you in a minute. Further down the side here we've got this external pantry, so there's more bench space. A couple of shelves in there for storing things. On that side you can see USB plugs and a double adapter or double power point, and then over here we've got a TV antenna connection and merit plug. For maybe one day we'll feel like getting a TV, but we don't feel like it at the moment. A couple of racks at the back. One of the things that we wanted was to be able to carry push bikes with us. Occasionally we do ride a push bike. So these racks have got the drop down pins here. These arms will drop down, and then the push bike rack will just run across those things. And it keeps everything up out of the way, and it's not a permanent fixture, which is a really handy thing for us, because often we don't use our push bikes. It's got a security door, but one of the handy things here is we can just take the step right out and it just sits in the footwell inside the van when we're travelling. I've seen so many caravans where people have wiped out their steps on curbs and gutters and lumps and bumps and things. It's a 2-piece door, so the external skin separates from the internal security screen, and the security door then has 3 deadbolts to it, which gives us a good sense of safety and security when we're inside. There's a lower deadbolt, middle of course, and then an upper one. So that's really good. And then stepping inside, of course, we look across to the ensuite. There's a nice window, seat, things like that inside. Comfy bed, queen size bed, as you can see, reading lamps, etc. And an internal kitchen. Ensuite on the left, internal kitchen on the right. It's got a 2-burner stove. These windows are good. They're double glazed. You pull the screen down, or you can pull the blind up, or you can just pull the screen down, hook it onto the blind, and then adjust the amount of light that comes in. We're really looking forward to using these things. We tend to cop some Aussies. A sink with a pop-up flick mixer thing, 2-burner stove, so I can make the princess a coffee in the morning before she gets out of bed. Deep cupboards there. In the this little cupboard here just inside the door, often they'll put a 65 litre fridge in there, but it just didn't make sense to us. There's a big fridge there, and we often carry the angle in the car. Big ensuite, has a swivelling toilet seat, make things more comfortable for you. Flick mixer, shower with a removable hose. So you just, as you can see, the toilet seat just swivels around. Clever, hey? Outside, then we've got the control panel where all the electrics are. So this thing has, it's a Cymarine controller here. It's got a 200 amp hour lithium battery, and we've flicked through. We can see the temperatures inside, outside, and in the battery compartment. The water tank levels, it'll show us how much is in each of those, and the current draw. And of course, this also comes with an app. So I can see what's going on here through my phone and hook up to all of that stuff. Then we've got the controller for the diesel internal cabin heater, which is fancy. A hot water service, a water pump, more USB plugs for charging. Just have to push the thing back in. Got another double power point just there. All of the windows have those same screens and blinds. A fancy table on one of these fancy swiveling things. And then inside, under the seat, is all these electricals. So there's a 200 amp hour lithium battery, DC to DC charger, an inverter, everything we could possibly need. And on the roof there's 330 watts of solar panel. So I reckon we should be pretty happy with all of this, hey? Moving around, push the table back. We've got a very comfortable queen size bed, more USB ports each side with a storage box for books and knickknacks, things like that. It's a handy thing. Plenty of space each side of the bed, a couple of reading lamps, and then we have a extractor fan on the top that's has a thermostat in it, so you can adjust the temperature or set a temperature, and the fan will blow in or out depending on what the temperature is that you've got. One of the fancy things here is we can lift the bed up and access the fridge from inside, so that's really good. Down here we've got the diesel space heater, and that runs around and then blows the warm air into the cabin through this vent here. Gas and electric hot water service, water filter, taps for the two 90 litre water tanks, so you can choose which one that you want to use or not. Then around on the passenger side, another TV connections here. A couple of Sirocco fans, one each side of the bed. These are really good, super quiet. They work on a gimbal system, and they work with 3-speed fans as well, so you can adjust the speed of the fan and the direction of the draft that's blowing towards you as well. Really good. I like these things. We're happy with them, hey? Plenty of space in the cupboards, internal cupboards here. Got monstrous sized drawers. Just pull this one out. You can see plates, cups, all that sort of stuff. The light switches are just inside the door, which is pretty handy. The first two are two-way rocker switches, which are for the left and the right side of the van. Flick them up and the lights will turn yellow to keep the insects away, or down to turn white for giving you better lighting of the evening. The remaining switches are for floodlights front and back, and the internal really good LED. So in a couple of weeks we're heading off for a few weeks up to visit the grandchildren, then out to Lightning Ridge and the Warrumbungles, and we're really looking forward to having a bit of a longer time in this caravan. That'll be good, eh?